Welcome everyone, it's me Gamerturk. I am back from Athens. So it's time to finally stop my hiatus. What we're gonna do today on this live stream is, well, Art Online Fractured Daydream, the 3-day early access for Digital Premium and Digital Deluxe are coming in a couple of hours depending on your region. So, since my review code, it's not exactly clear when I'll be getting it sent. Bandai Namco said, it is coming on the release date of the game, which is kind of a big oversight if you ask me, when the code you're supposed to send is having a 3-day early access period. But that means I have to fill that period with meaningful content. Meaningful content I intended to do last week if I wasn't going to Athens. So, I'm in a bit of a rush mode. I just came back, my room is a mess, but I will try to make this as smooth as possible. The plan for this video, if you haven't read the title before clicking, is we're basically going to be going through every single preview that we had for Art Online Fractured Daydream so far, and I'll just point out every single boss in those trailers or previews or whatever, and you'll be surprised at some things that are actually there, including the opening. But I think it should be a nice chill little stream. Did I break something? Oh my god, I was just trying to pull my laptop screen closer so I can see the chat. I want this to be smooth. I don't have the time for it to be not smooth. Hello there everyone. Okay, everything seems to be alright so far. Let me pull the laptop a bit further without breaking things, and then we'll be perfectly ready. Okay. We are perfectly ready. If I don't break my microphone, that is. Welcome, welcome. Oh, right. This live stream is brought to you by my channel merch. The first day also has a cool poster of this entire full visual. Lens Squad, 50k Klein, a lot more on my Teespring page. I believe Nightbot is going to start spamming my links at some point in the chat, hopefully, but they're also down in the description. So, we are starting with the reveal trailer that was, it's been over 7 months ago. This was such a surprise. A friend from SAO Wikia was over here in Innsbruck for a little 3-day or 4-day skiing holiday with me. I was basically showing him around. We were going around the ski jumping tower of Innsbruck. And the moment we came back to the car, I decided to check the Wikia server. And everyone's like, the game chat is just going crazy. And I'm like, oh my god, they announced a new game in a Nintendo Direct of all places. So this was our reveal trailer that came after about 30 minutes of that initial Nintendo Direct, very short trailer. It didn't have any bosses, so I'm not gonna show that 15-30 second clip. We're starting with the main reveal trailer. So 5 hours for PC. Oh yeah, I should probably mention those. The PC preload is going to happen at midnight UK time. So as of right now, that is less than 5 hours away. For PlayStation 5, you will need to wait for midnight of your local region. So if you were here with me in Austria, that would be about 5 hours. If you were in Turkey, which my PlayStation account is from, so if I were to pre-order, I would have gotten that benefit. That would be about 4 hours away. If you're in the US, it's a couple more hours away. I do not know about Xbox. I have no knowledge about Xbox. I will be really happy if someone from Xbox could tell me whether you guys have a global rollout or regional rollout like PlayStation, and give me the time as well so people can read in the chat. But otherwise, oh, Nintendo Switch. About Nintendo Switch, I have no idea either. Nintendo Switch is my Asphalt 9 machine right now, so I am not doing anything on the Switch. So again, if you have information, please share it in the chat and people can read it just fine and be informed. And I will read it and I will be informed as well, because I do need to be informed. But without further ado, let's start with this initial reveal trailer. It should not have much to it in terms of reveals, because this was supposed to set up the closed beta at the time. I am hoping it is not too loud. Okay, it is a bit loud. Let me bring that lower. There we go. So immediately we started in ALO. And I believe this is like the opening of the game. Reki Kawahara played the very early portion of the game on Dengeki's channel, if I am not mistaken. And it was basically opening up with these shots of ALO and Kirito logging in. So that is like our entry point to the entire game. We see GGO here, of course. We see Kirito with his usual ALO attire. And this is basically our closed beta and open beta content. Nothing so new here. We have the regular Cobalt Sentinels. We have the Harpies in the background. We have the lizard things, lizard people. We have the my arch nemesis over here, the smaller version of my arch nemesis, the delinquent. My arch nemesis is Dirty Scissor from Fatal Bullet. I hate that guy with a passion. We of course have the evil eyes. In fact, you can even recognize the geometry. These are the maps we literally had in the closed and open beta afterwards. Hey there, Polsky. Hey there, Major Wolf. Hey there, everyone. Welcome. Hiro Satwar, welcome. And of course, Ilfang was our co-op mission boss in the open and closed beta. Again, nothing new on this front. Although this trailer has one teaser for something that will be revealed later down the line. I'll get to it. But Skull Reaper we have over here was of course our only raid boss back in the closed beta, and one of the two raid bosses we had in the open beta alongside the Sword Golem. And by the way, we will finish the stream with the opening itself. I'm curious whether Quinella will be a boss fight or not. But it seems like we will have characters who will be boss fights. And this was actually our teaser for a boss that hasn't been confirmed for a very long time. You all recognize this clip. This is floor 100. Kirito going for that final Starbar stream against an incarnation of the Radius. And the entire attack is of course modeled after it. However, we don't see an incarnation of the Radius. So we'll leave this reveal trailer at that, and we will move on. Now, otherwise, aside from the main previews, the main trailers that we received seldomly, I believe, they shared actual trailers very rarely. We have like 3 or 4 trailers so far for the game total, which is very interesting. They usually share a lot more trailers, a lot more frequently when we enter the reveal period, post-reveal period. So we are going to... Fractured Daydream is top 10 on global Steam. Wow, that is actually very good. I'll be perfectly honest, I did not expect that. Like, I am incredibly thrilled about how Fractured Daydream is shaping up, but I did not expect a mainstream attention like that. And if you ask me, that pretty much shows how great of an open beta period we had with the game. I think the open beta especially really clicked something with people. It reached a lot of people, and a lot of non-SAO fans were playing and having fun with the open beta as well. But that's an entirely different point. I am not gonna dwell on it too much. So, after this one, we had about a month until I believe it was Aniplex Expo or something that we had in Japan. And that one came with an AGGO anime stage, of course, with Reona's participation as well. And over there, they revealed Len and Fukajiro as well. And if I remember correctly, this doesn't actually confirm any bosses, aside from the ones we had in Fatal Bullet specifically, the carryovers. But let's go through it anyways. Also, you can see things like what I'm generally watching. Husky content is among my favorite shorts to consume on YouTube. I very rarely watch shorts, but when I watch it, I do it for the Huskies. Anyways. So okay, with the AGGO trailer, we had Len as well as a proper Yu-Gi-Oh showcase. Okay, so we have our usual enemies from Fatal Bullet, of course. We have the Scorpions. Actually, at the time this trailer was released, a lot of people, particularly from the Western fanbase, were kind of seriously annoyed by the fact that we saw a lot of Fatal Bullet imagery in this trailer. But the point was that these are GGO characters in GGO. Like, it made perfect sense for it to look exactly like Fatal Bullet. As I said over and over, I think enemies and all the assets that's carried over from Fatal Bullet are perfectly fine. It's not like we're playing Fatal Bullet. And the game has so much more to offer that it doesn't matter. More content is more content in this case. But yeah, we see the usual Scorpion enemies. We see the... what were these? These are not the Fascimiles. These were the regular gun things. We actually see in the background... can you see my mouse? Yes, that is actually perfect. These are lens bombs, but in the background, you see the things we activated with the UFG gear to unlock the doors. So I believe they are the same assets. I believe they will function the same. So I guess we'll just shoot them or hit them with the swords to unlock objectives and doors and all that kind of stuff. I just realized I never looked at this trailer that carefully. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Hey there, Truth. Welcome. You got a husky? Man, huskies are the best dogs, but they are the most stubborn and annoying dogs there are out there. Except for the little rat-like small dogs. I don't like those. Okay, we have the... what were these called? I really enjoyed these bosses, to be honest, because they had two different crit spots. So if you had a team, it was much more efficient. One would go to its back for the more powerful crit spot, and the other would stay in front of it, grabbing aggro. So the risk and reward kind of things, I truly do enjoy. I really hope, one, we get the magician bosses from DLC 2, if you remember. I really love them a lot, and I hope we do get the, not the Beyblade boss from DLC 4, but the Ice Queen boss. I really enjoy that one as well. I really do hope they return with Fractured Daydream. But yeah, just... actually, I should hit space, right? Let's see if we'll see anything different with Fuka. I believe Fuka should have one really nice wide perspective shot where we can see the entire map for a better look. Oh, yeah. There is the... on the left side... why am I pointing with my fingers? I should point with the mouse. On the left side, we can see, again, the spider-like turret bosses. I believe that's it, right? Looks a slightly bit of a different design. See. Oh, no, I see it clearly now. The turret is basically looking towards this side. This is the face plate, and on the back side it has a secondary crit spot. And in fact, this trailer specifically was when they confirmed Quinella to be playable without really confirming it. Quinella is all around this trailer, by the way. You can see it multiple times. But over here, this was pretty much the first boss we faced in the game, if I remember correctly. The guy with the large axe, the rhino guy. It was an enjoyable boss, particularly because he has a pretty damn large faceplate that is very easy to crit. This was incredibly satisfying when you were playing with high fire rate weapons, SMGs, auto rifles, machine guns. It was incredibly fun to shoot this guy in the face. One of the things Fatal Bullet did, actually hitting those crit spots felt good. It rarely feels good in shooter games for some reason. Destiny does it great, and Fatal Bullet had done it great, and Fractured Daydream carries on that tradition, which I'm very happy about. The game is not out yet. Japan is already in the 3-day early play period since late yesterday. And tonight, midnight, it is opening up for the global fanbase as well. Okay, let's see what else we got. What are those shockwaves that are going on the ground? Okay, something is shooting it this way. Oh, the big guy actually has a new attack. His ground swipe sends a ranged shockwave of sorts. Pretty sure that wasn't there in Fatal Bullet. The things you realize when you watch a little bit more carefully. Hey there, Revenly, welcome. The boss version, yes, the boss version was shooting Phage. Although each boss had like 2 or 3 different variants as you went ahead. But yes, one of them was definitely shooting Phage. That is correct. Okay, this is what gives us the wide perspective. Okay, jump above for the mortar shots. And again, it's just the gunman enemies actually that is around the map. Although what I'm seeing is, if any of you played Destiny in the past couple years, these look like the nuts on the pyramid ships. I don't know if it's just decorative or if it's actually a target that you should be hitting. I cannot exactly be sure. But the look of it is very familiar to me from Destiny specifically. Also, the mortar shot attacks of Fuka, incredibly satisfying back in the beta. I did not expect them to feel that good. But the thing is, you can see it in the trailer. When Fuka does it, you can see the player gaining some height. Maybe it depends on the type of bullets you're using with Fuka, because I was never able to gain height. I was always slowly approaching the ground. So I am not exactly sure whether that's a change from 6 months ago over playtesting and all that kind of stuff, or whether that depends on the type of bullets you're using, because Fuka has access to 4 different bullet types. Depends on which weapon you're holding as well, but those are normal and 3 elemental bullets that she can swap through, which is extremely efficient if you want to chase those weakness shots. Oh, we have the bazooka variants as well for the gun people. Nice, nice, nice. But yeah, keep an eye out on Fuka. She is incredibly versatile. I did not expect her to be that versatile. I think this is the concealed Genbo, if we zoom out slightly. Come on, zoom out. Yeah, that is definitely the concealed Genbo. Yeah, this one. Has a nice little jewel on the forehead, which is extremely hard to hit. I think you can also hit the face with the eyes and all that kind of stuff, but it does a lot less damage compared to the actual crit spot. I'll check the chat for the questions after we're done with this preview. It should be pretty damn close. Yep, there we go. Okay, we covered every single enemy here. He used to just spin or chase you. The bosses are learning. Yeah, the Rhino boss with the axe, right? Yeah, this one. He really didn't do much, but it's nice to have more attacks, you know? That's good, that's good. I really do hope we don't get the review codes really on release day. That would be... Yikes, that would be a big oversight on Bandai Namco's side. But yeah, the Japanese side, I think it's been more than an entire day since they had access to the early access. No worries, Polsky, take care. Like the door locks on pyramid ships? Yeah, those are the exact nuts I was talking about, yes. I really didn't want the Fascimile to return. So far, I did not confirm the Fascimile version returning. The ones that kept running around with the swords, not yet. Maybe it's upgrade for Fuka of some kind. It could be one of the exclusive perks on weapons. Maybe we just have to wait and see. I really did not get enough playtime with Fuka to explore around. In your opinion, would the Fatal Pro tag with free customization, assign SP points to certain characteristics and weapons, be too much of a DLC character for Fractured Daydream? I keep saying this since they first started introducing a fixed roster without the custom character. I feel like they really want to go with those fixed skill sets and custom for balancing purposes, because every single character is completely unique. Back in Fatal Bullet, characters with the same weapon type, they always had the same skill sets, roughly, give or take within their weapon archetype. But an assault rifle character, it played like an assault rifle character. An SMG character played like an SMG character. Here, all characters are completely unique, and that's one of the main offerings of this game. I think that is one of the contributing factors for them not wanting a customizable character that has free access to every single thing, where you can pick and choose the best things, because that will make it extremely broken. And also, one of the main propositions of this game is that it's an all-star cast, as Bandai Namco is putting it on their own press material. They really want this to be a celebration of the Sword Online series. How to say this without being too blunt towards the Fatal Bullet OCMC fans? This is not your story. This is the story of the entire series. This is not about you. Clearly, they don't want to make it about you. Hey there, Val. Welcome. Early access for PC in about 4 hours. Silly me, tried playing at midnight and could... Yes, PC goes global in 4 hours. For PlayStation, you need to wait for your own midnight. I saw one with a sword running around in the part where Fuka is in the air. We can quickly check. Oh, right, literally right in front of my face. I was so tunnel visioned onto the mortar strike here that I completely ignored. There's one over here fighting this Kirito, and there's one over here fighting this Asuna. Yes, you are correct. The actual running around sword Fesquimiles also seem to be around. But yeah, okay. We covered this one. Moving on. Let's see. What was the next trailer they shared? Oh yeah, this is the Variant Showdown, 60 FPS versus 30 FPS comparison, the upgrade they made. I am just gonna make an interjection here because I want to let everyone know that this video is not representative of 60 FPS, because I'm gonna make it large, and you will basically see no difference between both sides. Both the 60 FPS and 30 FPS will look extremely similar to you, because they are exactly the same. You know why? Because they uploaded the video in 30 FPS. So despite both sides running, the left side running 2997 and right side running 5494, you don't actually get to see it because they exported the comparison video in 30 FPS. I did let them know, but of course it was too late at that point to do anything about it. You know, the video was already out and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, because the source files are not running at 30 and 60 respectively, they're running the 2997 and 5994. You actually see 60 FPS side, especially on the slowed down vision, to be a little bit more stuttery, whereas the 30 FPS side, livestream probably is not gonna capture that at all, but the 30 FPS side, at least it goes smoothly slightly, whereas the 60 FPS side has these little stutters. Really unfortunate this comparison. I feel bad as well. I was the one who kept pushing them to upload videos everywhere. I mean, not saying they did it because of me. Of course they didn't, but this was a great chance to do it. It was really unfortunate that they kind of... The best way to put it is, unfortunately fumbled it by uploading it as a 30 FPS video. Anyways, about 2 months ago, they started sharing their actual character previews, which, because every single character is portrayed in a different world, we got to see a lot of different bosses, different enemies, which is where we start to get a lot more variety in terms of presentation. And one thing I noticed, didn't we see Kirito in his normal Halo attire at the beginning of the original trailer? Whereas Kirito everywhere else is pretty much using his iconic SAO look. Yeah, like right here. This is definitely his ALO, but the ALO coat is already in the game, right? And I believe Excalibur and the Black Sword is also in the game. So it does make sense. It's... He still has the elf ears, though. Like, it is a different character model. It doesn't help now to just overthink it, but, you know, something to keep in mind. We actually have the ALO Kirito model. It's not just the jacket, it's not just the sword, this is actually ALO Kirito. I have noticed this 7 months after the reveal trailer. Well done, me. Okay, now, where were we? We're starting with Kirito's preview. Oh, they didn't do it, did they? They went with one of the most iconic shots in the anime, which is against Gleam Eyes. But they did not show Gleam Eyes. What is this one? Oh yeah, this is the same Rhino enemy. Oh. Let's see what we'll get. The usual lizards, the wolves. Although the map is not the multiplayer map, this is definitely a story map. It feels much more wide and open compared to the multiplayer map, which is trying to funnel you through and guide you towards the objectives. And of course, we have the Alicization Starbar stream over here, which they kinda modeled the Incarnate special ability around. I'm not happy about that all that much. As you all know, I am not a fan of the golden eyes. The liver disease eyes, as I like to call it. What are the chances they'll add bosses from Hollow Realization, etc. as extra content? I would say anything outside of Fatal Bullet and Last Recollection is a very, very, very slim chance. Because with Fatal Bullet, they used Unreal Engine, albeit an earlier version. It is still easier to port over or improve to be ported over. Same thing with Last Recollection, that also switched over to Unreal Engine, which should theoretically, at a very baseline level, make it easier to convert bosses, although that one had an entirely different design language, so I'd imagine if they bring anything from Last Collection, they will need to redesign it from scratch anyways to fit the art style of this world. And every other game, it's using other contemporary engines, especially with Akuria's games that were using the Fire engine, a very heavily modified version of the Fire engine, which was made for the original PSP. I find it extremely unlikely that they will try to bring over anything from there. They can create content inspired from it from scratch, but probably not directly. And if they do that, they may as well just grab more recognizable things from the series, you know? Fuscus. give me the movie Fuscus, please. We'll get to the Yuna and Eiji trailer. No rush, Dark Heat. No rush. I thought that in the light novel, Kirito used the Eclipse instead of Star Wars stream, but it's been years. No. In the light novels, you mean this one, right? Against the scene against Gabrielle Miller? No, that was the 17-hit Star Wars stream, because the last hit was taken care of by Yu-Gi-Oh! That was not Eclipse. The only time Kirito used Eclipse was against Heathcliff at the end of Aincrad. And because he never yelled Eclipse, nobody knows he actually used Eclipse. Everyone thinks it's Star Wars stream. And this is the boss arena for Skull Reaper, I imagine? Yeah. This was still very early on, way before the open beta. So, not much new on this one. Let's see. Next up, we have the Asuna preview, which we may have something different than Kirito. Let's see. Again, the fight against Gleam Eyes is being used. And ooh, what is this setting again? Let's see. As a completely new setting. We have the elemental golems. We have the minions in the back. In fact, this appears to be a normal minion. If you played open or closed beta, we had minions appearing as rare enemies that dropped additional core. These don't seem to be that kind. That kind in the beta was yellow, goldenish, to indicate there were gold drops. These appear normal. Anything else in the background? In fact, this room looks more like ALO's underground labyrinths, the undersea labyrinths. But I don't want to make any explicit statements for now. Like, looking at a single room, that is not a lot of footage. Yeah, that's the weird enemy. I actually don't know what this specific enemy is from. Like, I don't recall it from anywhere. Like a demonic succubus or something. That was in the beta as well, by the way. So we do know the enemy already. Now that is something we didn't fight against. Come on, if I can pause it at the right time. As they are showcasing Flashing Penetrator from Asuna. Yeah, like, there's a Guardian in the back. As you can see from ALO, that's the Evil Eye, whatever it's called. But we never saw a proper dragon like this. But from here onwards, we're gonna see this enemy a bunch of times. And larger versions as well, which I imagine are going to be bosses. I feel like this is still a regular enemy. This does not feel like a boss. Like, the size is pretty small. What is this enemy over here? Is that a lizard man with the curved blade? With the curved blade, I imagine it's a lizard man, but looks a bit weird. What is this? I don't know, that looks more like a Code Vein enemy, I'll be perfectly honest. But yeah, okay, we did not get a clear shot on that one. We just got the dragon. I think the succubus-ish enemy appeared in Hollow Realization. They appeared in the swamp-looking area. Could be. It's been ages since I played Hollow Realization. But if that's the case, they just recreated it from scratch, just using their concept art for the game. Think it's worth getting the deluxe edition or better off waiting for Friday? I mean, if you see value in the 3-day early access, it's coming up in a couple hours, go for it. And there should be other bonuses for the deluxe edition as well. Kirito the Hero, the minigame alone is worth it in my opinion. That looks like it's gonna be a really fun one, Kirito the Hero. But there is a 17-hit Starbar stream. Was it always 17 hits? No, it's been always 16 hits, and it will always be 16 hits. The thing is, during his fight against Gabriel, Kirito's arm gets cut off on the 16th hit, if I recall correctly, and Yu-Gi-Oh grabs the sword, and he goes for the 17th hit. It's Yu-Gi-Oh's hit that's 17. That's why it's a special Starbar stream that only happens once and never again. Oh, my open beta announcement is still rolling with Nightbot. I should probably remove that at some point, but I'm too lazy. I don't wanna lose speed. Yeah, there we go. Everyone's saying Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Thank you for the support, guys. Appreciate it. And then we had the little TV CM. CM stands for commercial, by the way. This is where they revealed Watashi Tachi no Uta from Reona, our song, the opening, which is exactly why I'm just going to mute this. But we do have a huge boss reveal in this one. Is it not in this one? Should be in this one, I'm pretty sure. I love this shot so much. Len just looking at the missiles and just start rushing. It's a great shot. I'm more of those comedic things from the AGGO cast specifically. Ah, right. Kirito blocks the 17th hit, and with the main hand, Kirito lands the final 17th one. Yes. Because for the 16th one, the arm gets cut off. Is it the offhand or the main hand? Such details that I shouldn't say anything without double checking. Oh, they did not show the boss in this one. But yeah, this was the first time we saw Asuna, Len, and Alice together. And this is basically them running towards the boss arena, which should appear in another preview. But that means we're up for Eiji and Yuna trailer, which has a whole lot of things, because this is the first time we are going to be seeing the ordinal scale stage for the first time. There we go. And this really looks like the stage inspired by the very first boss fight we had in ordinal scale against Kagachi the Samurai Lord. I expect Kagachi will be in the game, because we already had another samurai enemy. I'm having a notification by YouTube saying that my audio bitrate is doing something. Is the stream alright? Please do let me know. Yep, thank you. Thank you for the confirmations. Audio seems fine, no problems. Why are you confusing me, YouTube? Anyways, I'm pretty sure Kagachi is going to be in the game as well, because we had a different, smaller samurai enemy that looks exactly like Kagachi the Samurai Lord. I'm pretty sure Kagachi is gonna be there. If we don't see it him in this trailer already. We see him in this trailer already, but in-game, I mean. Let's see. One thing I'll say, I think it was a mistake to open up with GGO, Fatal Bullet enemies within the ordinal scale stage. I think they could have shown different enemies. I'm pretty sure they have to have enemies fitting for ordinal scale here. Let's see. There we see the Storm Griffin. What was it? Floor 14? It should be the Storm Griffin. The Storm Griffin. SAO Wikia. Naturally, we don't have a page for something as unimportant as the Storm Griffin. So, bosses, SAO Wikia. Control F. Storm Griffin. It was the floor 11? Really? Okay. Storm Griffin was floor 11, and Zegi was also floor 11, right? Yes. So those were a couple. I don't think we have seen Zegi the Flamecaller in any of the trailers, but we'll see. We'll go through every single trailer eventually. But yeah, Storm Griffin basically confirmed. I think the size of it, it looks like a co-op mission boss. So the same we had with Ilfang. We go through missions, we reconvene with the entire team, and then go through the portal. And it seems like that's where we fight the Storm Griffin as the end boss of a co-op mission. If it was a raid boss, it would have been much, much larger in my opinion. This is small enough to be a reasonable co-op mission boss. And then we have Yuna, of course. And there we have Dorsal the Chaos Drake, floor 191 boss. And there's a bit of a nice trivia from Ordinal Scale. Dorsal the Chaos Drake was actually inspired one of the bosses back in Hollow Fragment. They basically looked at it and they decided, hey, we should make this an official boss in the anime. And they did. However, I have no idea why they went with floor 91. Because the dragon boss that Dorsal is inspired by is on a different floor in Hollow Fragment. If I recall correctly, either 94 or 87. Although it can be any other floor, I just remember for a fact that it was not the 91st floor boss back in Hollow Fragment. So, interesting choice. Interesting choice. We have the usual... That is not... Oh, no, it is the usual lizardman enemies. Right, because we had the crossbow variant as well. I hated the crossbow variants. There's something that shoots a missile in the back that I cannot exactly see because of all the effects. Yeah, like you see, right behind the lizardman with the crossbow here, something is shooting a missile, which we cannot see. It is also affected by a debuff, either this lizardman or the mob in the back that is fighting this character. I think it's AG. But we actually cannot see this enemy that's shooting a bazooka. And there's something else towards our right, another enemy that seems to be debuffed. That is Yuna's debuff marker, by the way. The music sign. We have another arrow flying in. That's a nice arrow. Again, we have the Rhino enemy, we have the Elemental that is debuffed. And yes, we do have both of them in their Aincrad outfits as well. One of you mentioned it earlier, I knowingly ignored it because we would get there. But given this, I do expect both of their outfits to be available for free, or at least to be earned in game, even if it's not immediately available to you. I don't think they are going to put it in the character shop, because they are quite the iconic outfits, and they did advertise the game with this. It would be in bad taste to put it in the shop. And in my opinion, this is gonna be one of the previews that shows the player that certain outfits can change certain skill animations. As you know, if you've been following the news, we will have outfits that can go onto specific characters and change their attack animations or ultimates into different animations. As far as we know, it shouldn't change their power at all. It's just the animations that's changing. But yeah, as I said, these are pretty iconic. I don't think they are going to be in the shop. They will be earnable by regular players without having to pay extra, in my opinion. What is the boss you want to see the most after the game launches? Fuscus. Fuscus. Give me Fuscus, specifically the movie design, not the light novel design. No disrespect to Abishi, of course. Abishi's version is perfectly fine. The thing is, in the light novel, Fuscus was explicitly designed as a traditional golem. So it looked pretty much exactly the same as the usual elemental golems you see around, just slightly bit larger. The movie completely ditched that description and did its own thing, and I think the version the movie has is so much more impressive than just a generic golem. That's why. I think Nautilus is the default. Is it? That would be interesting, because on the official website, SAOFD characters, they preview AG in his... Wait, let me see. I may be mixing it with Yuna. No, yeah, on the official website, they are previewing AG with his Ordinal Scale outfit. So I just imagined he would appear with the Ordinal Scale outfit. Especially because if they don't come on as Ordinal Scale characters, by default, Ordinal Scale does not have any representation otherwise. That would be a bit weird. But could be. I don't know. Japan has access? We don't at the moment. Video about why Fuscus is the best available Best is available on Turk's channel. Go watch it after. Yes, please. I have an entire video about why Fuscus the Awakened Colossus is the best boss fight featured in the entire Art Online series. I really like that video. I really like Fuscus. You should go watch it after we're done with the stream. Hope we get to see the 100th boss from Ornal Scale. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. When are we getting access is a better question. Early access is in a couple of hours. In about 4 hours for Steam globally. For PlayStation, whenever you're hitting midnight. Okay, nothing else new on this one. So we keep moving on. This is just a Reona interview, if I recall correctly. That's not a preview. Yes, that is correct. That means we're off to Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see. Of course, we open up... No. Oh my god, did I click something? I really don't want to play the opening on this stream. No, we are not getting copyright claimed. Oh, that was a lazy cut. Come on, they could have easily used a custom camera because that is clearly the same attack. You can see the same attack, the sword coming from behind for a wide wipe. But they just didn't want to use a custom camera for this one. That would have been such a perfect transition. But we can see orc enemies actually. Orc enemies were featured in the earliest reveal trailer as well. I think a lot of orcs and minions were marching towards somewhere. But yeah, we now see them in gameplay. In the background, I think these are... Wait, this is the Sword Golem Arena. No, it is not the Sword Golem Arena because we have stairs going up. I'll check the Sword Golem Arena later down the line from my recordings. But these are the enemy spawning portals that show up in boss raid, so this is a boss raid for sure. But we didn't have orcs in the open beta, did we? Hey, Opartox, welcome. Oh yeah, that's my man. That's my man. The actual Dirty Scissor. Let's just fucking go. My arch nemesis is officially in the game. Look at that. He even has proper armor plating now. Did he have those in Fatal Bullet? That does look quite rad, I'll be perfectly honest. This is more GGO areas. Elemental gold. What was that in the back? This thing right here? It does not look like a background prop because the background clearly has a very distinct color palette. This thing over here kinda sorta stands out. This is something. Yeah, look at that. That is definitely something. Probably a turret of some sorts, but I don't know. Definitely looks like doesn't belong there. Hey there, Royd. Welcome. Orbital cannon from Fatal Bullet. What was the orbital cannon from Fatal Bullet? I don't recall what the orbital cannon was. Okay, that is the Sword Golem Arena, fine. Yu-Gi-Oh did not give us anything new on this front. So, let's go ahead and check Alice. Oh, right, those. Good one, thank you. Yep, that definitely could be it. See? They gave it the cool camera angle here. But that's probably part of the animation that she has already. So they didn't need to do anything custom. Okay, again, we get the GGO arena. We have the scorpions, we have the wolves. We have the larger scorpions. And she does get the orbital strike nuke as an ability. And that is it. Okay, Alice trailer also did not have much. What do we have next? We have a 30... Is this full-on audio drama? Yeah, that is the audio drama. There's absolutely no footage there. We go on with Yuki. What's gonna be your main? Argo is my main. My secondary considerations are Kirito, Asuna. I particularly enjoyed Asuna's finisher. If you didn't see, I even have a very nice short as to how you can steal the last attack bonus with Asuna with some proper planning. If I can go to my channel. Shorts. Yeah, stealing the last attack bonus with style. Perfect planning. Absolutely perfect planning. Can I not make shorts full screen on desktop? YouTube, what is this? Why is your desktop experience always so terrible? What was I saying? Okay, my secondary choices. Kirito, Asuna. I'm gonna try Eiji. I wasn't so fond of Len, but I will probably give her a try. Klein, obviously. Let me check the full character roster so I don't forget anyone. Lisbeth, I am very skeptical about how she's gonna perform as a fighter with her. I'm interested in what her skill set is. Heathcliff, I'm gonna give it a try. But I am not a tank person in general, so probably not gonna play Egil Ellis or Heathcliff. Or Stera for that matter when she arrives. Yuki I'm definitely going to try. Like, Rogue is already my class in general. The mobility I truly enjoy. Rangers, as I said, I am not gonna play a lot. Although Fukajiro really surprised me. Rangers are hard to play if you ask me without mouse and keyboard, and I play on a PlayStation. So Shinon and Deathgun completely out of question for me. Fukajiro, she can function. Mage Oberon, definitely a clear secondary pick. Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm probably gonna try him quite a bit. Quinella, I'm probably gonna try her a fair bit. As for healers, I am not exactly convinced. Especially with Lifa, I am not a huge fan of flying combat. I just can't pull it off my mind. It doesn't work. Scrambled loves him. He's probably gonna play a lot of Lifa. I probably won't. And I'm gonna try the others, Yuna, Yui, and Shilika a fair bit before passing judgment. But my main is absolutely Argo. So we are continuing with Yuki's preview. Let's see what she has to offer. Aside from death and sadness. Okay, those are the Cobalt Sentinels. Oh, that lunge attack I like. Oh yeah, that's the same as Kirito. I think they did call it Warple Strike in the game, but that is not the thing for Warple Strike. That is slant, no? Either slant or snakebite. I'm pretty sure it's slant. Because snakebite has 2 hits. Okay, now it looks a bit more like Warple Strike. But the charge up of Warple Strike is not behind your back. That is absolutely slant charge up. Warple Strike's charge up is straightforward. Either way, I'm nitpicking right now. Okay, we have tons of guardians, and the place looks like, I wanna say GGO actually. This looks like one of the DLC areas. DLC 4 maybe? I am not exactly sure. It looks a lot more modern than the base area dungeons, that's for sure. It also looks like the area in Asna's preview that I imagined would be undersea portions of ALO. But with this color palette, it is very reminiscent of GGO. Interesting. Oh, that is Ilfang boss room, obviously, with a nice Mother's Rosario, and that's pretty much it. Could also be the lab area from ALO. It could be, like up above on the Tree of Life, the Life Tree, Yggdrasil, yeah, could be. Absolutely, good call, good call. Ah, Sonic Leap, yes, yes, that is correct. Was Kirito's skill Sonic Leap as well? I actually did not check the skill names. People kept telling me to check the skill names just in case. I never bothered. I'm not interested, I'm more about the functionality when I'm playing the game. Have you seen the post about the Extreme Rate Skull Reaper post from the official trailer? Yes, yes, yes. I saw the things, but that is not at all the topic of this conversation. Yep, could be the World Tree up above. That would explain the Sentinels, Guardians as well. That would be much more fitting. Although we have seen GGO enemies in normal scale, so who am I to judge? Kirito the Hero that comes with Digital Deluxe Edition. I will probably play this more than I should. Survivor style games are fun. They have always been fun, and they are so casual as well. It's so easy to pick up and play. I really enjoy them. Okay. You wrote the ice area, and I read iced tea, and that reminded me I should pick up my iced tea. Don't forget to like, please. There's 55 of you watching. Only 25 likes. Please help. Iced teas are currently not on discount in my nearby M price, so I have to be cautious with my stock. I don't want to run out of iced tea when they are not on discount. Ah, Sonic Leap was the whole... Right, because even the normal attacks, by normal attacks I mean the hold attacks, did have skills attached to them. I believe Liz mentioned it, Liz Simp, Shadow, when I was playing Asuna. Meanwhile, my water went back on discount. Right. Because that's not Austria, and you don't drink tap water, do you? I was so confused for a moment. I was genuinely confused. And I shouldn't have been, because I just came back from Greece, where they don't drink tap water either, same as Turkey. We don't drink tap water. Here in Austria, tap water. Beautiful taste. But terrible to wash anything with, including taking a shower. Oh my god. The worst water you can have a shower with. I hate how my hair feels after taking a shower here. Like 1 week back in Greece. I say back in Greece because it felt so familiar with back home in Turkey. The water was so nice. My hair never felt this good for 10 years, except for the time I was back in Turkey for summer vacations and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god, I returned this for a single day and my hair just feels like the dusters, the dust thingies. It really feels terrible. Either way, where were we? I was gonna check Lisbeth. Volvic mango and passion fruit flavored water. Oh, flavored water. Okay. Do you know when Stray is dropping? The tweet is kind of confusing. We have the entire timeline for them, don't we? Let me check my Twitter real quick. Pretty sure I shared the roadmap. It should be 17th of October. That's where they put it on the roadmap here. So 3rd of October, the game is officially launching, and the Gleam Ice Crimson, the hard mode boss, is coming over with the fancy golden armor and all that kind of stuff. Looks like Thanos. And then October 17, the DLC 1 is dropping. The free content update brings the Skull Reaper Tempest, the hard mode version of Skull Reaper, and also the paid DLC brings over Straya with new weapons, equipment, and story. Unless they tweeted something else, that is our schedule for Season 1. Unfortunate scrambled. Meanwhile, it seems like I am not getting my review code for the early access either. So far, I need to wait for the official release, sadly. Yes, Season 2, we get Pito and M. Their classes have not yet been officially confirmed. However, I expect them to fill the remaining blanks on the roster. So one is probably going to be Mage, with a lot of traps and mines and all that kind of stuff, I imagine. The other one is going to be a Ranger. One or the other, we'll see. Although I have been wrong with my initial expectations for DLC characters. I was expecting Pito to be the first DLC character as a Ranger. And then the second DLC, since it was a duo, I expected that to be Vecta and Pooh respectively, as Mage and... what was the other one? Tank? But that did not end up being the case. I'm really surprised they are not going for Pooh and Vecta immediately. Those are some real popular characters. Did we get a new floor in Integral Factor? I didn't play Integral Factor the past week. I wasn't home. Let's continue with Lisbeth though. I was talking too much. Let's see what Lisbeth trailer has to offer. Okay, we got the usual delinquents. Yep, regular dragon enemies, which I'm pretty sure are just normal enemies. Oh, that is a cool attack. I like that. Boom. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, we have the shooting phage. These enemies look new to me, are they not? Let me see if I can catch before she strikes down. Down, slam. Yeah, these enemies, this specific type, I think these are ordinal scale enemies, no? This is definitely an ordinal scale map. From the looks of it. I think not much can be seen around, but the color palette feels like it. And I feel like these are the... Oh, that was one of the things I was very excited about as well, now that I remember. We have a lot of lore for ordinal scale, none of which was covered in the movie. It was literally completely thrown out. It's only in the booklets, interviews, and all that kind of stuff, the actual lore of ordinal scale. where an oppressive government called Unital is trying to bring all the different worlds together. Sounds extremely familiar for those light novel readers, isn't it? Anyways, these can be actual what do you call it? The police force of the Unital government from ordinal scale. That would be interesting because their weapon design is also not exactly like the GGO stuff or any other really. This is definitely original. So they can be the Unital enemies from ordinal scale. That would be really, really neat. I really do hope we get some lore stuff being used for the ordinal scale portions of this game. Ordinal scale had enemies. Of course, we only saw boss rushes in ordinal scale, didn't we? In the actual movie. Nah, there's a very extensive lore / story about the background of ordinal scale and everything that's happening in that ordinal scale game universe that they never used in the movie. So these can be those soldiers. Don't speak when you're literally drinking iced tea. See their design? They really look like soldiers. They don't look like Feskimilis at all. I don't like the pronunciation of Scrambled. Take it over. Feskimili. What kind of a word is Feskimili? Who created the word? There are also a couple of OS drama CDs that were Japanese only. Yep, probably. We never got to them. Oh, there was something jumping very high in the background right before the transition. Let's see. I think that's Shilika in the background. Yep, that definitely looks like Shilika. She has the wings, she has the ear tips, as Kate said. Yeah, that's definitely Shilika. Oh, see, there are more of those nuts. Scrambled. These are very recognizable to you as well, right? Like, it's absolutely them. We're literally going onto a pyramid ship. Facsimile. So there's no K. Sure. I'll take it. Oh, it's facsimile. I don't care. I hate the word. I think it should be banned. Terrible word. Okay, we have the Shilika preview. Those are all ALO Guardians in an ordinal scale stage. That is facsimiles with the Photon Sword. More in the back. That seems to be using a dodge skill. As if they weren't annoying enough. Now they're using some special dodge skill. Why? That's the most annoying enemy type already. Wait, that is not a facsimile, that is something else. Yeah, I think those are ordinal enemies as well. Unital enemies. Because once this facsimile goes up, you can see the differences. Like, it's a completely different design. This guy has a belt, proper head armor. This is a human-like thing, whereas this is clearly a robot. Those are completely different enemies. Same here. Here you see. These two are the same. So they can indeed be ordinal scale enemies from the Unital government. We see Dorsal again. No, that's not Dorsal, that's a usual dragon enemy. And that's pretty much it. let's have a look at Klein. And everyone who played any of the betas are like, yeah, that's a completely missed attack right there. It's clearly Klein locked onto the chest over here on the backside. And the attack launches right underneath the Skull Reaper, hitting none of the legs or the spine area. Completely whiffed attack. That absolutely hit nothing over there. Good job, Klein. Good job. Proud of you. And we have the Succubus and the Cobalt Sentinels. They really did not even try matching the attacks to the anime visuals they used. A bit unfortunate, leaves the marketing people with literally no choice with their transitions. I am just going to quickly check back on my channel because this trio, Klein, Shilika and Lisbeth, were announced together and they had a full-on triple trailer to themselves, which may have different footage. Just give me a second to find it. Where is it? Where is it? I'm pretty sure I have it uploaded somewhere. Klein, Lisbeth, Shilika gameplay reveal. Yeah, this one. Let's see if it has any different footage. They showed this specifically on the live stream and then uploaded separate footage for the individual characters. Okay, that is the same whiffing swipe. That is the same. That is also the same. Yep, same footage. Same footage. Lisbeth is probably the same as well then. Yeah, same stuff, nothing different. Ooh. Okay, next up we have Egil. Take care, Polski. Take care. Wait, are you leaving or? I saw people saying take care, so I figured I'd say it without being too late as well. I am usually too late. For anyone else playing on Steam, am I right thinking there won't be a download option available until Advanced Access launches in a few hours at the same time as the Game Access? I think yeah. Or at the very least, you'll get like an hour before. I am not exactly sure when it'll launch, but it should be at the same time as the download becomes available. That's what I think, which is less than 4 hours right now on Steam. Scrambled's leaving. Take care, Scrambled. Good night. Have a nice day tomorrow. I'll be joining you on that not playing Fractured Daydream sadly crew for now. The beta was incredibly fun for me. Same as closed beta 6 months ago. The closed beta, the polish that was available in the closed beta still surprises me. It was pretty much the same polish level, at least on the surface level, what we could see. It was the same as open beta. I don't even know what they improved upon, aside from rebalancing of characters and all that kind of stuff. It was really great. I have an entire review based on closed beta in my channel. None of my opinions changed, so I did not make one for the open beta, especially with the game coming out in a couple hours with the early access and 3 days later with the official launch. I am going to make my ultimate review proper for the game itself after the launch. But my opinions from the closed beta, they still hold. Okay, continuing with Egil. Let's see if we'll see anything new here. Okay, we have Eelfang as usual. I don't expect anything new in Egil's preview, to be honest. Okay, this looks like the underwater area again, same as Asuna's. That is the Skull Reaper. People! Please stop focusing the boss when there are enemy portals around the boss arena. This player recording the trailer, they are doing it wrong. Don't do this. Take care of the portals first. But as expected, there was absolutely nothing new in the Egil trailer. Let's see the Argo trailer. They want that last attack bonus for real. You can't even get the last attack bonus when there are portals around. The boss is not low enough to get the last attack on it. I believe in the last phase, a set of portals spawns at the very beginning of the final 2 HP bars, and then another set of portals spawn when the final health bar begins draining. When you are going for the last attack bonus, there really should be no portals around at that point. What is interesting is that the Open Network Test build was 0.9.1, while the full game is build 1.1.0. So there was probably some changes in characters, maybe bug fixes. First off, of course, that is the case because naming-wise, the naming scheme-wise, you can't name it 1 point something if it's a test version before release. And also, the beta versions, demo versions, whichever game you're playing, they are sliced off from production at some point in the past. As for the 1.1, that's probably the day one patch coming in as well. If you don't patch the game, you'll probably get the... You can't even get that anymore, can you? Because no one grabs the disc versions. With the day one patch, it becomes 1.1 always. Have fun, Mario. Have fun. I am waiting for my review code from Bandai Namco. At least this time I have proper fast internet, so the moment I get my review code, I will be able to download and start playing within like 10 minutes. I imagine with the speed that thing has. Previously, especially the first time I was getting a review copy from Bandai Namco, I was also, since I'm in Austria, I deal with Bandai Namco Germany. And I don't trust my German all that much. If I were to rank the languages I speak, it's basically English and Turkish. I use English a lot more for the past 10-13 years, thanks to being a YouTuber and then living in a foreign country. That's why I put Turkish in the second place, although both are like native bilingual level, I'd say. And German is like below. And the thing is, we come from such an education in Turkey that even from a cultural aspect, not just the language education itself, but from a cultural aspect as well, where for some reason, let's say, we have this instinct to want to do everything perfectly when it comes to speaking a foreign language. We want to impress others. That's why when you deal with a Turkish person, especially if they come from a decent education, they will try to speak this extremely elaborate British accent, which just scratches my ears every single time because you can hear how fake it is. But the problem part of it is when we cannot do something perfectly, when we cannot speak a foreign language perfectly, we have this terrible feeling that destroys it inside, that causes us to not feel comfortable speaking it at all. And the cascading problem from that instinctual feeling is that, well, you kinda do need to speak to get better at the language. So when you know you're not doing it perfectly, as a Turkish person, you are more inclined to not speak it at all. And that dulls your language even more. Like, I have actual C1 level German, but I am so shy. What was even the topic I was talking about? Right, the review copy. My first time grabbing it for Alsatian Licorice. And I was so anxious as to when they would be giving me my review code. Because my internet back at the dorm, the upload speed is great. The upload speed is 10 up, which was later upgraded to 20 up, which is more than enough for any kind of streaming I do. I was very happy about that. But the problem is, it was not asymmetrical internet. It was symmetrical. So upload speed was the same as download speed. So my download speed was also 10 down. 10 down is a terrible, terrible download speed in this day and age. And it took me like 12, 14 hours to download Alsatian Licorice. And that's why the entire day before, I was constantly pestering my personal contact as to when I would be receiving the code. I saw the UK side starting to receive their review codes, and I'm like, the UK side received it. Why are we not getting it? And they're like, if you want it so much, go ask the UK people. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. I'm just anxious. Please help. Ay. Bad days, but nice experiences. I'm happy they tolerated me back then. Anyways, who are we doing? Character Argo. We're okay. I could have just made it like this, but I still would have to read it, or I could just play it and see Argo, right? Could have been easy. Okay, we see orcs over here. What were the enemies in the back behind the orcs? Looks like purple orcs. They are still orcs. Okay, this is still the underwater thing, I imagine. Elementals and Guardians, nothing new. Absolutely nothing new in the Argo trailer compared to the previous ones. That's the Variant Showdown developer update from last month. Okay, Quinella can have something new, we'll see. 6 megabytes per second on a good day. I'm just hoping today is a good day. 6 megabytes per second is good. Megabyte, right? It's not megabit. Megabit is quite bad if it's megabit. It has to be megabyte. Me with maybe 3 mega per second. That's the thing. You don't say mega. It's either megabit or megabyte. And that makes a huge difference. 8-fold. 8 megabits is 1 megabyte. So if you're getting 3 megabytes per second, that's still pretty damn good. I was getting 10 megabit up and down back at my dorm. And that was terrible. Will you get an early version? Completely depends when they send out the review codes. Hey, let's see Quinella. I love the music they're using for villain characters, by the way. Okay, we have more orcs, we have minions. This is the sword golem arena anyways. Okay, summoning sword golem against dorsal, which we should get a better angle, no? This is the angle we're getting? I feel like there was a different angle, but you can see the sword golem that she summons, pretty much like Oberon's guardian summon, it is much smaller than the normal ones, to not mistake it for the same one. Although I wish they colored it a bit differently, or maybe gave it an aura, because the size doesn't really matter. You see something looking with sharp edges, you will assume it's an enemy instinctively. So maybe giving it a friendly aura or a ally marker of sorts could be a little bit more beneficial for the summon attacks. But yeah, on the back side we have dorsal. This is the ordinal scale arena. Nothing new with the Quinella preview as well. Leaf preview, what do you got for me? Where is the story trailer, by the way? Did they not upload the story trailer here? Oh, they actually don't have the story trailer. Okay, I will need to open it up from my channel, unless I missed it somewhere. I don't think I have. Oh, here it is. I did miss it. Yeah, we'll do that, because story trailer has a bunch as well. We'll do that after Lifa. This is such a great shot, by the way. Good stuff, good camera work. Look at that. You see the entire city of Arun, and you see the Yggdrasil as well, Life Tree, and some other structures. This is some really great stuff. I am not sure if that entire map is explorable. If it is, that is goddamn good job. But I have this feeling where this is just for show and you can't actually go past these walls over here. Don't quote me for that. I have no idea. But, you know, cool stuff, cool stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, no new enemies there. There's Kirito just randomly running around here. What is that enemy in the back? That's what I was looking at. Oh, it's the evil eye crashed into the ground. Okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, nothing new. A cool shot at the beginning with Tifa flying, but that's pretty much it. Okay, let's see what we got here in the actual story trailer. Free roam map is huge. Okay, that is good. How do I get my weapons and gear from the beta? In the options menu, I believe you go into the network tab and there should be an option to grab your save bonus files. I'm very curious about the real world areas, how extensive that is going to be. Because I really like it. Didn't realize the sword effects, even in cutscenes, create these effect work. The warping. You know, when you attack, there's the air warping around effect. That makes it look a little bit more impactful. Didn't realize they were in the cutscenes as well. Look at it. Everything is warped around Quinella. Okay, I love this shot because you basically see every single world. We have the... This is a trailer I did an entire explained about, no? You know these already. We have the entire Centauria with Central Cathedral. We have GGO in the back here. This looks like ordinal scale stuff. We have Aincrad here. And we have Alo over there. I'm not gonna talk too much about this trailer. I already have a full-on explained live stream on this one. Just going through just in case. If I can add something to what I said before, I doubt it. But this is ordinal scale stage, clearly. Oh, it was this trailer they showed it, not the initial reveal trailer. When the minions and orcs were marching around. Yeah. I remember now. Okay, this is where we actually got to see Vecta. And even then, a lot of people did not believe me at that point that it was Vecta. But see, if I can get a proper shot. Let's see. The Roulette trio fighting over here, and in the back, it is the new girl, Fuka, fighting the big boss dragon over there. And that is much larger from the regular dragons we have seen in previous trailers, by the way. If you pay attention. And see, right here, there is the shiny blonde hair, Vecta's crown with the jewel in front, and the entire attire commanding the dragon. That is clearly Vecta. And we have finally received our confirmation, which we'll get to at the end of this stream, whenever that's going to be. Alright, this is the first time we're seeing that GGO boss. It is completely original, by the way. I don't recall this from Fatal Bullet at all. It is like this huge mechanical boss. And if I remember correctly, we actually should have a clear screenshot of it shared by the official account. Let me find it if I can. Let me see. Where is it? Ah, yeah, this one. So this is the full boss. It is definitely not from Fatal Bullet, as you can see. Fatal Bullet never had something this cool. But yeah, this is going to be a boss fight, obviously. And I expect it to be, looking at the size of it, probably a raid boss as well. And yes, it does absolutely look like a Metal Gear Solid boss. And I welcome it. It looks really good. But I still want the wizard enemies from Fatal Bullet back, and I still want the Ice Queen from the 4th DLC back. I really like those bosses. Although they may not be as fun with melee characters, so they will require a lot of changes. Now that I think about it, maybe it is not the best idea to bring them. They were great in a game that was dominated by guns. Because, you know, they had these risk and reward mechanics. When the wizard guys were going for their attacks, one was opening the palms like this, and their crit spot was always within their palms. So either you would stand and try to stagger them before they actually launch the attack, or you would need to start running away. So that risk and reward I really enjoyed. The other one was like opening their hands like this for a short bit. And again, you had to hit the palms. So risk and reward is something I really enjoy in boss design in general. Like, you need to give players choices to make and keep them engaged rather than giving them a bullet sponge in that sense. So those stuff I really like. I hope similar concepts do come back. And the rest is just, yeah, these. Okay, where were we? We did Leafa, right? We do Shinon, we do Yui, we do Oberon, we do Deathgun, we do Heathcliff, and that is... Oh, I should have just opened this one. This is basically all the previews stacked back to back to back. That is the Systems trailer. Maybe I can grab the subtitled version of that. This was an entire live stream. I am not sure if they showed anything important here. And that is the opening. This is Reki playing the game. There was actually no spoilers in this one. It's just some opening scenes Didn't even get to any kind of story conflict. But yeah, let's go through these and see if there's anything here. You have to be so far away to see enemies this small on Shinon scope. Like, I feel like Shinon scope requires a little bit of adjustment to be zoomed out slightly. Because this is not an optimal scenario at all. Her scope is incredibly zoomed in. Makes sense for a sniper, but from a gameplay perspective, makes me feel... it doesn't feel as good. Is that dorsal randomly hanging out in one of the wastelands of GGO? Let me see, let me see. If it has the whiskers, it is dorsal. That is dorsal. What is it doing here? In front of SPC Glocken. That's a really nice lighthouse. I like the overall apocalyptic design. Hey, let's see the Yui trailer. Oh, we're gonna be defending the log house. Nice. Oh, there we go. That is our Gleam Eyes confirmation right there. I think first time we're seeing him in trailers. The previews going one by one. Really nice. But we already had him confirmed with the roadmap as well. I showed it before in the stream. The hard mode of Gleam Eyes is coming soon. There was a boss I wanted to show, but I don't remember which trailer it was from. And so far it didn't show up and we're running out of trailers to talk about. Where is it? I may need to manually check. I remember writing it down somewhere. Oh yeah, that's the druid enemies. This actually makes me think we may have the floor 2 boss somewhere around there. A much larger version of this. Could easily be Nereus the Evil Trant. And overall, the design of this, I feel like they took the design of it from Integral Factor straight, from Nereus itself. Well, we'll see. Yuna is confirmed, yes. This is like inside the world tree, no? Looks like it. Or at least some ancient ruins. Oh, that's nice. Isn't this a boss from the previous games? That was much more floaty and going around, one of the ALO games. It's not from the main series. Right. And it loved to fly around a lot more. It wasn't just staying grounded like this. And welcome, Ark, by the way. Oh yeah, you do remember it, don't you? What is the possibility of Pooh getting added to the game? Very high. He's an extremely popular character, and they can't quite get away with not adding him at some point. But But yeah, that is definitely from Lost Song. It was a very annoying boss as well. I generally disliked Lost Song and Axel Orlor's SAO bosses, generally. But that's less about the bosses and more about how static the attacks of the player characters are. Hey, let's see. Death Gun. Desugan-kun. Okay, we have a GGO sitting. Oh my god, that is the bulky Faskimili as well. It's not the it's not the lanky one that runs around. This is the extremely tanky one that just doesn't even care you're shooting at it. Still, it is more manageable because you can actually shoot at it. But yeah, it gives me bad flashbacks. And again, more ordinal scale enemies from the Unital government. I so desperately want to see more of Unital Ring. I want more, ordinal scale, not Unital Ring. I want ordinal scale lore to be adapted into something. Okay, let's see. That's a stun field, no? Yep, that is a stun field, alright. Cool. Okay, no new enemies here. They used the animation to actually kill the enemy, but I wouldn't be so sure that you'll be able to one-shot everything you come across. I may need to go through my own archive to find that other boss I wanted to showcase. That was literally my climax point. Okay, naturally you showcase Heathcliff against Skull Reaper, perfectly understandable. More regular enemies, nothing new. More Eelfang, nothing new. Okay then, where was that boss? I am gonna do the opening last, of course, but while I try to find that trailer, please make sure to like the video, the live stream. Let me see. Which trailer was it? If it's not here. Ah, okay, found it. Let's go to my channel real quick. This one. The mini 10-second Nintendo Direct footage exclusive to the Japanese version of that Nintendo Direct that revealed Yui before the official accounts did. But just watch it. Yui, Heathcliff, and Death Gun were revealed in this one, actually. But yeah, right here. Remember at the beginning, they modeled the animation after that ending hit on ordinal scale? There is the incarnation of the radius. Confirmed for Fractured Daydream. I'm really glad to see it, by the way. This is definitely a cutscene. This is obviously not a fighting moment. Because it's literally following the ordinal scale final attack. Okay, let's go through my uploads. Okay, with the English subtitle, let's go through the systems trailer.
Peggy 12.
System capable of recreating the past. However, it malfunctioned, and now the lines between virtual worlds are blurred, and its players are displaced. Players will confront this anomaly as and its players.
Is that Len just yelling about and scaring Yujo by simply screaming?
Players will confront.
Look at that!
This anomaly.
She is actually screaming.
And its players are displaced. Players will confront this anomaly as Kirito and many of his friends.
Nice.
Become this anomaly as Kirito and many of his.
Oh, okay. Nautilus is protecting everyone else. So this is from the same cutscene we have seen from Yuna and Eiji trailer at the end with Nautilus and Shigemura Yuna outfits. Yuna has already transformed into the Diva version. And everyone else are just now arriving to support. Cool. Now Quinella, Deathgun, Lifa, and Chilika fighting together. Lisbeth and Klein.
From the SAO series.
Yeah. In the earlier story trailer, they overlaid Kirito conversing with Quinella over here. But I knew that was a completely separate scene. And that's basically it. Let's see what we have here. A lot of Fatal Bullet enemies.
Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream combines a story mode with an original scenario for solo players to enjoy. And the story is
cool,
set in a world where the past.
Ooh, they have a much better animation for this scene. Remember I said I love this one where the camera just panned simply around all the worlds? They actually have moving camera now. I'm curious whether it's the same scene that they added the camera motion into.
The story is set in a world where
But this looks
past,
really,
present,
really
and
nice.
future have been digitally recreated. The Black Swordsman Kirito was trapped in there before he.
Honestly, I'm surprised they aren't reusing a lot more enemies from previous games. I mean, they are kind of limited on that front. I talked about this earlier in the stream when you were not around, Ark. But like the only options of easy conversion they have is a Fatal Bullet. Because the art style is the same as well, alongside the engine being an earlier version. They can use Last Recollection, but the design language of Last Recollection is completely different, which would require a lot of alterations to the models or just recreating them from scratch to fit in with the art style and all that kind of stuff. It's not exactly easy, but personally I expect a lot more enemies from Fatal Bullet specifically. Simply because older version of the same engine, easier to port, and the design language matches perfectly because this is basically Fatal Bullet 2.
He knew it. He will be reunited with past adversaries and fallen allies. To discover the cause of Galaxia's outburst, they will face vicious.
Did they use the same scene again that they used like less than a minute ago?
Discover the cause of Galaxia's outburst.
Yeah. Nice one.
They will face vicious.
Okay, we have a beautiful Gleam. I really like Gleam's model. Like, we had Gleam in Alicization Licorice DLCs as well, but Alicization Licorice bosses, they weren't even rigged in detail. That's the style of Akuria. They have more static models where you don't have these kinds of details. So seeing Gleam like this, that is actually terrifying. Look at it. That is a really well done Gleam.
Past once again.
There we have Dorsal.
Relive the adventure that intertwined.
We see Quinella actually protecting Lycerith, or rather Cardinal. And also, if you didn't know, or maybe just forgot because it wasn't conveyed properly in Alicization anime, But generating 5 elements on 5 fingers, that is an extremely hard feat. Barely anyone can manage it.
That intertwined.
But I don't understand why she's then shooting with the actual system effects. She is using normal Sacred Arts. She's not using anything system command related, as far as I know. Unless this is a completely different cut back to back.
Relive the adventure.
Yeah, that is a completely different cut. She is using proper system commands.
Intertwined fates and unravel the mystery of virtual anomalies.
Wait, what is that materializing?
The mystery of virtual
That looked completely out of nowhere.
anomalies.
I think that is Yuna's loot being materialized.
Intertwined fates and unravel the mystery of virtual.
I can just stop it at the very beginning before it starts.
No.
Yeah, you see, that's Yuna's hat, that's Yuna's cape. So this is... I believe she just materialized. She's not transforming, she's just materializing her loot.
Anomalies.
And then we get this scene. Who is that in the back? Maybe just a dead enemy? I don't know. Too far away to see. Bitrate is not enough.
Allies interact with each other for the first time. The number of characters that you can control in the online-only mode will increase as you progress through the story mode. Other players and challenge quests. Full characters fits. For example, as a shield for Alice, who excels. If you want to focus on doing damage, choose a
still
character
no
in
new
the fighter
enemies?
role, such as Kirito.
I'm sorry, but the pronunciation of Kirito in the US is so bad. Like, English language clearly does not fit Kirito's name pronunciation. There's something so weird happening when someone who speaks English natively tries to pronounce Kirito. And no matter who it is, like no matter where from the US you come from, no matter which ancestry you have, every single person that speaks English natively pronounces Kirito's name terribly. You know, it happens. Nothing you can do about that. I mean, I can't say facsimile properly, so. Okay. What is that giant ass laser that is going through the entire area? Did you see that? I see the turret here, and yes, that matches. One of you mentioned it earlier when I was talking about the GGO stages. But that... Fuck you, laser. That's going through the entire city. What is it? That's from one of the golem enemies. Really? The giant fuck you laser? From a golem enemy? I find that really hard to believe. What kind of a golem is that? Okay, whatever it is, it's blurting out right around the corner there.
The character of your choice that matches your playstyle.
Okay, Skull Reaper. Didn't they use this exact clip for Egil's character preview, but did not render the enemies in the back? And I complained about the portal being open? I'm absolutely sure that is the exact shot, just without the enemies in the back rendered. Where was it? Where was it? Here. Yeah, you see? So they probably plopped Egil and Skull Reaper there, ran the animations, and then when rendering it for the systems trailer, they also enabled the enemies. That is absolutely the exactly same shot, just with the enemies. Hey there, Foxy, welcome, how you doing? It's the cannon, it's the triple turret, you mean? That does the giant fuck you laser. Could be. It's been a long time since I played Fatal Bullet. Will you do live streams with the game where you play with subscribers again? Absolutely, absolutely. As long as I have time, absolutely. That was incredibly fun. It was a bit stressful trying to make sure everyone gets a chance. But yeah, it was fun. I will absolutely do it again as long as I have time. Do you think Vecta is a possible secret unlockable character? Because I feel it's possible. It is possible, but I don't think we have secrets. Two reasons. One, in this day and age of the gaming industry, having secrets kinda works against you, especially if you're a live service game. Because you really need to put your best foot right at the beginning forward. If you don't do that, you really need to sell your game at the very beginning. Because you need that player base. So it leads you to not being able to have proper secrets. And secondly, Japan doesn't care. They would spoil the entire game if a trailer did not have to be 2 minutes long. Just trust me. Ay. Fatal Bullet launch trailer spoiling the ending of the Fatal Bullet story. My best experience. That and Last Recollection spoiling the massive plot point of Dorothy's transformation. Japan doesn't care about secrets. Japan just wants to get people excited. Absolutely. That's my opinion. Sometime at a future DLC. They haven't mentioned any secret unlockable characters, plus nothing has been data mined. It shows... Okay, let's keep the data mines out of the channel. But yes, if they had secret unlockable characters, you can pretty sure you would be able to see like a question mark here. With the same banner, question mark for the character picture, 3-4 question marks for the character name. They would make sure you know there was a secret character. That's what they did with Licorice as well. Not that much on the nose, but on the character roster, they constantly had additional blank spots that they clearly intended to fill over time. And they did. So yeah, if they do secrets, they do those kinds of not so secrets. Licorice spoiled the hidden ending from one of the final trailers before launch, despite it not being in the game at the time. That is still our assumption, right? We're pretty sure the true ending was not in the game without the Reona patch. Like, we're absolutely sure that is the case. But I wouldn't say that spoiled anything. Like, from what you could see, that was just Medina being an ass and Kirito laughing about it, which happens all the time in the game. That wasn't a contextual spoiler. Whereas when you saw Itsuki pointing a gun towards you with the end boss spawning behind him, That is a bit on the nose about being spoilery, right? Take care, Polsky. Hope you get well soon, mate. Just joined. Can you explain about weapons and crafting and how big role it plays? I don't know anything about crafting aside from the fact that it exists, because we saw the menus in the closed beta which were not accessible, which were not clickable, they were grayed out. So there's not really much I can say. What do you want explained about the weapons themselves, by the way? If you clarify that, I will try to get into it. But I did not look at anything from the Japanese side, the Japanese early access. So I can't go too deep into things aside from what we had in the open beta. And I'll do it at the end. We're almost done with all the previews. So we'll do the question stuff at the end. Just wait like 5-10 minutes, unless people make me speak too much again. Alex tried, and he said he vaguely remembers triggering it at launch, but it crashed. But it's... Oh, right, back to Licorice. I was like, did he trigger weapon crafting somehow? But yeah. I do remember all that. He never was able to find the actual thing, so we never could confirm. Thanks to Havian, we know how crafting works. You spend money to craft a bunch of weapons, and you're limited to creating 100 weapons a day. I see. When did Havian get a chance to do it? Like, I am pretty damn sure I'm on the list of Bandai Namco Germany to invite me to any play testing event that they may have, which they never have. UK sadly has a lot more options on that front as far as I'm aware. So that's more unfortunate news for me. Am I allowed to say I'm jealous? Some parts of the world just have better opportunities. This is the best way to put it. He imported the Asia English version and is going... Oh, he already has the Asian copy, I see. I mean, I could technically do that, but it's wasteful. My YouTube does not create enough income for me to be wasteful for my channel.
Normal attacks are the building blocks of battle. You can easily create combos by repeating these.
Okay.
Skills that are unlocked through defeating
Nothing new
enemies
here
above.
either. Like the enemy variety, having gone through this many PVs, and it's kind of concerning. I always expect to see more. I really do hope it is still more.
Powerful. However, these skills have a cooldown period. When the gauge is filled, your ultimate can be used. Activate your ultimate at the right moment to turn the tides of battle.
Oh, that's the GGO boss. Yeah, you see, it is a proper raid boss. SPC Trommel. Trommel, what did Trommel mean? Trommel. It's a drum. I'll be perfectly honest, 86 is so much better at naming their mech. They're also all German names in 86. And they do actually make a lot of sense. Like, what am I supposed to make out of Trommel? Foxy finding himself into every single matchmaking I had. That was quite a sight to see. And then he still applied through my friend request to be in my specific party. I saw there's common, elite, legendary. Can they be refined? Enchanted something like I found about the game 1 hour ago? What do you mean? I'm confused. He has a video talking about free roam, the history of SAO games, gallery tab, crafting, lobby, and some other stuff about the game. I can link the video if you want. I am not going to watch anything before I play and publish my review myself. That's kind of a policy I have for myself, so I don't get like influenced by others' opinions. I want to do my thing first, and afterwards I go around and check what others think. 100 floor boss? Confirmed. We covered it previously on the stream. It's been a while actually. Hey Eric, welcome. Look at the minimap for GGO boss. He is at the edge. Yes, he is. So that makes me think something like the Ice Queen boss from Fatal Bullet can actually come back. Like, we have seen this enemy being completely out of the arena. So maybe it has like attacks that lead into the arena with the limbs and stuff, and you attack the limbs. And ranged characters can just attack it whenever, whereas melee characters have to dodge attacks and then go for the limbs and all that kind of stuff. We will have to wait and see. What you can do with the weapons after you craft them, you can use them, you can enhance them, you can dismantle them. And if there's anything else, Arc, feel free to add on to that. Do you think Hollow Strea is a possible DLC boss due to Strea being part of the first DLC? You mean the actual corrupted Strea version in the final fight in Hollow Fragment? I think it could be a good boss fight for Strea's story in DLC 1. That is actually a nice idea. I like that. Makes me wonder if Fractured Daydream is gonna add more wall bosses. Wall bosses is exactly this, you mean, right? Like at the edge of the arena, and you have to go to them, or they have limbs that stretch in. I mean, I would absolutely like it. Like there is one boss in Integral Factor, and Integral Factor is just extremely painful because the game doesn't allow you to attack it even if you're a ranged character, which makes those bosses just drag on for too long. You can't chain your attacks for proper finishers. You can't attack them reliably because their limbs stay on the arena way too little. But if you can attack them as ranged characters whenever you want, and their limbs stay on the arena for a decent amount of time, I do like these kinds of bosses. Welcome back, Opartox. What do you expect for the future of this game? It completely depends how successful it ends up being. Personally, I think it is the best SAO game I have ever played. It is incredibly fun, and surprisingly, the open beta was incredibly helpful. I keep saying incredible quite a lot, but that's just how it is. It was incredibly helpful at getting a lot of mainstream people into the game as well, which was really nice to see. So if the game actually ends up being successful, I do expect a lot more bosses, a lot more new characters, and actually a proper lengthy multiplayer community for this game. Like, Fatal Bullet has it, but it is a very small core people playing it. I think, like, if you look on Steam, it's usually between 100 and 200 people at its best. But if this one ends up being successful, this can go a long way. I think it's a perfect infrastructure to keep expanding on the game. And please, let's bring some light novel stuff as well. Give me Kibao, give me Lind, give me Kismel, give me, I don't know, Mutasina. L-Line, give us L-Line, and play around with it. Like, the one thing I loved about Axel Worldverse SAO is how they played into the theories about Graphite Edge and Kirito. I'm not gonna go into specifics due to obvious spoilers, but I want things like that from some of these characters as well. Okay, okay, yeah, please, keep your questions. I want to be done with the trailers first.
Victory.
I promise I will answer the
A
questions.
dangerous situation can turn in your favor. By connecting the switch function with your allies. Playable quests. Co-op quests can be played into areas to be conquered by separate. A challenging next awaits you at the very
Okay,
end.
that's a good look at
Work
Gleam again.
together to defeat it. Next is Boss Raid. It's an all-out battle against a giant boss enemy with all 20
That is
players
Dorsal
working
again.
together to take it down. Adapt to the boss's attack pattern and cooperate with your friends to achieve victory.
Oh, Quinella can actually fly. She is a flight character.
Will be highlighted after a
Cool
quest
detail,
is
cool
complete.
detail.
The party to deal the most damage and recoveries will be highlighted after a quest is completed. Those who are confident in their skills should aim to be the MVP. The last one to be introduced is Free Roam. This quest can be challenged as a solo player. You up experience. Check the dropped material. Various what you get.
I want to actually check. Okay, let's see how many, because I'm pretty sure every single character will be able to cover every single element. So Elucidator, Dark Repulsor, that's no element. Dual Lightning is electric. We have Dual Muramasa, Dual Lightning Divider. Elucidator, Rogue, and Flare Repulsor, which, if I remember correctly, was fire from the beta. Dual Chaos Rider. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No, that is EX version of the Lightning Divider. Not sure about the difference, but that remains at 5. Dual Divination, that is 6. Dual Black Silver Swords, that is 7. So at least 7 weapons that should be able to cover every single element. 7, in fact, is a bit high. It's definitely higher than I imagined. Are there even that many elements? I think there are. Yeah, Fukajiro has 3 elements in one weapon, 3 elements in the other weapon, and 1 neutral. So yeah, 7 should cover every single one. How cool would it be if they added Axel World characters? It would be very cool, but I don't want Axel World characters before we have a reasonable amount of SAO characters from different parts of the series. Really hope they add previous Gameverse weapons like Remains Heart, and Sacred Sword Externa as either gears you can find. They already have the models actually in Last Recollection, so they can definitely bring them. This has nothing to do with it, but when you expect them to let us know about the new original movie? At the earliest, either November 7 or after the final episode of AGGO on Japanese TV, but do not hold your breath. Expect some other surprise announcements.
Find the best equipment for each playstyle. What you get will depend on your luck. If you each playstyle. What you get
wrong
will
button.
depend on
I want to go
challenge
forward.
mini quests. Acquire powerful
Oh,
weapons.
Yuju has a
and
fallen
ways to
sword.
challenge
Nice.
Mini quests. Once you obtain costumes, sometimes it's all about
That formal outfit is so nice, by the way. Cool stuff, especially on Heathcliff. He looks really fancy.
all about fashion. Once you obtain costumes and accessories, feel free to dress up and have fun.
Also, if you didn't know, they actually showcase... No, not another mosquito. It's 10 degrees outside. Why are there mosquitoes still? Die. I had enough mosquitoes back in Greece. I think mosquitoes don't bring anything to the world, and the world would be a better place without mosquitoes. Honest, non-biased opinion from me. You heard it here first, folks. Back in first grade, my primary school teacher said to the entire class, every animal, every creature has their place in the ecosystem. And me, being the super smart, super confident first grader, I immediately said, no, grasshoppers don't do anything good for the world. And my primary teacher was very interested by my confidence. She said, you really think so? Go back home, do some research, and tomorrow tell me everything you found. And me, being the amazing researcher at first grade, of course, the first person I turned to was my dad. So I asked him, what do grasshoppers do that benefit this world? And my dad said, grasshoppers don't do shit. So next day I went to school and said exactly that. As the conclusion of my research. Good stuff, good stuff. Where were we? Right, the Japanese trailer actually showcased different outfits. I may go over and open the Japanese version as well. But like, we see a whole lot of different outfits. And I am pretty sure none of these are paid ones. Like, paid ones are gonna be epic or exotic, legendary quality in my opinion. These are all stuff you will be able to unlock through regular play or are just given from the get-go. Now this is a paid one, for sure. And it's basically changing your attacks. Of course, we're not seeing any damage numbers, not that we'd be able to compare it to anything, but I do not expect them to actually affect your power. That is an extremely unfortunate subtitling. But I don't expect them to give you special powers. I really hope they don't, in fact, because that would be entering pay-to-win territory. I imagine they are just giving you those cool effects, for example. Like, it has some additional 2D effects, if you see it at the end. Like these lasting splashes on the screen. So I'm hoping they're just talking about that in a fancy way, and special powers is just bad choice of words. I'm pretty sure they are not going to affect your gameplay, they're just changing your animation.
Cool or cute? Dress up your favorite character. The outfits you change here will also be reflected in the story mode.
This is still the best outfit you can ever create. Top tier stuff. Love it. Oh, that's a good question. How many are earned via multiplayer and how many are earned via the story? Will bosses rotate for boss raids? That is a good, again, questions. Let's leave it to the end. I wanna be done with the trailers and opening. I wanna see those shots again a little bit more. I love those glass breaking effects. Those are absolutely beautiful.
Story of Kirito and his friends. Surrounding Galaxia going out of
Yes, Dirty Scissor. My favorite. Or is that the corpse sniffer? I really don't want to utter these boss names because YouTube's recognition is gonna catch up and demonetize this entire thing. Just because I said the name of the boss. Not my fault. Dimps has to take full accountability for this one. For ruining the livelihood of many YouTubers with their boss names.
That can be enjoyed in the story mode. And
okay, we see the Storm Griffin again.
An online co-op mode with up to 20 players. Will you reenact famous scenes from Sword Art Online playing as the character?
Wait. All of these are the same footage they have shown us in character previews, but every other thing was mostly disabled for rendering. AG, where are you, AG? AG. Where is that Storm Griffin? Okay, going up? Nah, but this one does have a jump.
Going out of control that can be enjoyed in the.
This one did not go with the lunge attack immediately. There was an actual jump. But how are they so similar then?
Out of control that can be enjoyed in the story mode.
That is so baffling to me. Why would you create something so similar instead of giving something slightly different, slightly more fresh? Even the location character is looking towards is exactly the same.
Co-op mode with up to 20 players. Will you reenact fate?
Yuki one, we're looking that way. Okay, go back. Open the Yuki one. Should be like towards here maybe. When the Mother's Rosario shows up. And you see, that is exactly the same. Literally looking at the same place. Asuna is still in the map. But instead of being here, Asuna, this time she's here. I feel like these are all AI characters. And they are initialized for like a 10-second scene recording within their system. And they keep rerunning it to capture it. And AI just makes slightly different decisions every single time. That has to be the case. Otherwise, it's impossible for it to look so similar, yet little details going elsewhere. So interesting. No, it is B-roll footage. It is B-roll footage. That's understandable. It's understandable not caring for it either, but like, I just find it extremely intriguing. Anyways.
Online, playing as the characters in the scenes, or will you create your own new scenes? Control and customize your favorite character. Enjoy the Sword Art Online battles you envision together with your.
Yeah, that's concealed Kenbu.
Sword Art you envision together with your allies.
This is against an incarnation of the Radius. In ordinal scale, Asuna did Mother's Rosaria alone. In this game, they will actually do it together without Yuki being an incarnate ghost. And they will switch. Kirito's gonna come in. He'll do the Starbar stream normally.
Sword Art Online Fractured
Cool stuff,
Daydream
cool stuff.
Launches October 4th, 2024.
Okay, let me quickly do the opening. I'll be perfectly honest. I am a bit disappointed with... Oh, I should just mute it, because otherwise this is gonna get claimed, obviously. I am a bit disappointed with the opening sequence. This just gives me Alsatian Licorice vibes, but without the added flair of creativity. They are just reusing scenes from the game, actual cutscenes. These first flashes is just straight from the anime, so I am not even gonna try pausing. Now, Ironcrad, Yggdrasil, Fatal Bullet. That is Fatal Bullet, that is not Gangale Online. That is not Phantom Bullet anime visuals. When you look at Ironcrad, that is from this game as well. That's also from this game. Okay, never mind. There's no nitpicking to be done here. Okay, we have ordinal scale, Centauria. I'm curious what the significance of the ice blue and purple coloring is, because it is so prominent here. I always got the feeling that it has something to do with Fuka and Nej and their relationship. Hey, Kohaku Kuroboshi is being mentioned. Nice. For the AGGO character design. Overall, the opening just generally reminds me a lot of Hollow Fragments 1. Because they did a lot of stuff with this overlaying animation as well, even more than Lost Song. But still, these are literally just character intro animations and victory animations put back to back. Which just feels uninspired. If I'm being honest, it's a bit of a shame. Okay, here we see Agil, Lisbeth, Asuna. Someone's behind there, but I'm too lazy. That's Yuna there from the mic I recognize. Kirito, Yuki, Argo, Shilika, and Lifa. By the way, I'm really glad they're crediting so many stuff. I was so surprised they actually did all of this. They did it in the live stream a week ago as well, over a week ago. Because they rarely share these kinds of credits. So this has to be a deal or something for the entire 10-minute special. That is this full song. Exactly, even Kanzaki Elsa is mentioned. They really don't usually do this. They share the performer's name and the composer's or arranger's name, and that's where they leave it at. But probably because if you don't know, the full song is actually almost 10 minutes long, and it basically has these sequences where it's basically a completely different song. It's like injected into it. And then the start and ending parts by what you see in this actual opening footage is what you see at the beginning of the 10-minute song and at the end of the 10-minute song smushed together. But yeah, this is this full because it's a full-on 10-minute song. Okay, these are footages we have seen before. And I told you all, it was Vecta. See? I know what I'm talking about. When I go into the details and I double check things, I do know what I'm talking about. And there were still people who didn't believe me that it was Vecta. That it was so blurry, it could be someone else. No, it was someone commanding a dragon with a blonde hair and a very clear amulet around their head with a fluffy armor around the neck. That is Vecta, no other way. And yeah, the model absolutely looks so clean. Is AGGO canon in the anime and light novels? AGGO finds itself in a place where it's basically a gray area, where it really doesn't make sense to even think whether it is canon or not, because the two series really do not touch each other at all. They don't intervene, they don't intertwine, so there's no conversation to be had there. Generally speaking, due to the way things were getting convoluted in the past couple of years in terms of canonicity, at SAO Wikia, we decided to take the approach of, for something to be canon, they needed to be referenced directly by canon material, Because with the movies, with the anime adaptation errors, with the games, with the side story material, self-published novels, it was really getting way too convoluted. So the line we drew on the sand was that, hey, if a main canon published story from the main series references it, then it is canon. Otherwise, it is not canon. And then it went into a different discussion whether it contradicted something from the main canon or not, to decide, hey, which precedes over what and all that kind of stuff. AGGO is never referenced by the main canon, so we cannot confirm that it's canon. But it never once contradicts the main series because it doesn't even have any connection to it. So we can't say, oh, it's definitely non-canon, no chance. We can't say that either. So it just hangs out in a lovely place where it's just something you can have fun with. Whether it's canon or not, it does not affect anything at all in the grand scheme of things. Hey there, Alp. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome. Okay, we have, again, Quinella protecting Lycereth. Ooh, would you look at that? Another boss being confirmed. Do you guys recognize who this is? Maybe, maybe not. Where was it? Where did I save it? It is from... should be from Extra Edition, actually. Right? Yes, it is from Extra Edition. That is Kraken the Abyss Lord. So that is actually a canon boss as well. Do you think we get an incarnation of the Radius boss? We are confirmed to get an incarnation of the Radius boss. I keep getting that question back to back a bit too often, so I'm just gonna open it up again. Give me a sec. Bring that over here. Go back to my channel. Videos. 10-second UE trailer. There you go. I forgot Extra Edition exists. For once, people who are doing the game did not forget that. And I'm really happy. Maybe that'll get a little bit more interest into the Rainbow Road story, so we may get an additional side story actually concluding it. I would look forward to it. Yeah. I saw it at the beginning of the stream. I was just too lazy. I didn't want to go into the Nightbot dashboard. I know. I'll do it for the next time. I'll just let it scroll for now. Maybe that scene is when Yuna, the Diva Yuna, is transforming into the SAO outfit. Because you see, the sparkles are coming up. And after she transforms her outfit, she gets she materializes the loot as well. That would be nice. Although Dims are really on a roll with the SAO games, they must be happy. Like, good on them. It was always sad what happened with them in the Sonic franchise. Like, Sonic Advance 2 is by far my favorite 2D Sonic game. But with Sonic 4 and then being delegated into doing the 2D ports of main series titles that get so much less attention was such a shame. I'm happy they're having a good time with SAO series. I actually want to have a good look into those flashing shots right here. Okay, let's go one by one. So this is Neige, I believe, the support AI of Fuka. She's quite prominently featured in the trailer itself. Sorry, the opening itself. Like Fuka, you can't actually see a lot, but Neige is literally everywhere in this opening. I keep missing my opportunity to pause here. Okay, that's Alice casting perfect weapon control. This is too close to tell. Heathcliff. Ilfang? Ilfang? No. That looks ordinal scale related, but also not exactly visible. Oh yeah, that's definitely ordinal scale. We have Yuna, we have Oberon, Yuki, Kraken. This is Kraken, right? Looks like Kraken. Oh no! This is the Lost Song boss. That is definitely the Lost Song boss. The tentacle lady. We have Egil over here. What is that bottom right? Oh, that is Yggdrasil. We have Heathcliff, Len, Quinella, Oberon, Kirito, Sword Golem, Yujio, Quinella, Yui, Centauria, clearly, Shinon. Oh, double attack by Shilika and Liz. I like that. This is also... Why does ordinal scale feel so random? Why don't we get proper shots from ordinal scale? It's literally always just random scenery shots. What is this? Is it Alo or Einkrad? Can't be sure. And Asuna, that goes by too fast. And Yuki, Einkrad, another ordinal scale shot. Yeah, see, that's Neige again. Neige is basically doing everything in this opening. Which just makes me curious about what her deal is compared to Fuka, that she's getting so much of a spotlight. Because Fuka is the human character. Neige is the support AI. And yeah, I'm pretty sure blue and purple, these two intertwining lines, they do represent Fuka and Neige. Because if you go over to the website over here, that is literally their color scheme. Not their outfits, but come on now. The background color for Fuka is blue. The background color for Neige is purple. And if I may... There we go, just look at it. Definitely symbolizing those two. And maybe Fuka's gonna die and her consciousness is going to merge with Neige, maybe? Similar to what happened with Yuna in Cordial Chords. I'm literally just spitballing right now. On the go. To be frank, there is not much to interpret from this opening because it's not a custom made opening. It's just using scenes from the game. Like the opening explained, doing that for Last Recollection was incredibly fun, and I basically did the opening explained and shared it with Kentun, who had data mined certain stuff from the demo for Last Recollection, and he was like, did you actually look at my data mined files? And I'm like, no, I didn't. You didn't even send them to me. How am I supposed to know? And I don't like looking at those data mined stuff as well. I don't want to spoil myself going to play a game. And he's like, then how can you be so accurate? You don't even know anything, but you're so accurate. But yeah, that's kind of the point. I know my series. I have a reasonable assumption or reasonable knowledge about how the writers approach these stories, reasonable understanding of certain symbols and actions and all that kind of stuff. It just lines up sometimes. And openings are done in a certain way to convey certain things. When you start catching up on them, it's not exactly so hard. But yeah, nothing much to interpret in this one since it's not a custom opening. I love that shot, by the way. I shared that on Twitter. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Look at that. Charlotte just bugging Oberon. That is a beautiful shot. And yeah, that is everything we had from the opening as well. Let me just go back to that Oberon screen to use it as background footage. And okay, now as promised, to answer your questions, because we are at the end of this. I am not gonna scroll up. I'm just gonna start from where WikiDicky's text is. And if you have questions, just write them now. I am going to be scrolling down as things go. Through could be a battle pass thing. Could be. I am not exactly sure what it's referring to. Is the new game gonna be a live service? By definition, it is a live service. Yes, it is not going to have gacha. It is going to have an in-game shop where you can get stuff with normal currency as well as premium currency. And it is, I believe, going to have a battle pass. But again, no gacha, no loot box, nothing exploitative like that. Maybe she's an AI in charge of pulling memories from users of Galaxia, but something went wrong and she's going into the game. Isn't that basically your backstory already? Not the part about in charge of pulling memories, but Fuka is a Galaxia, is an employee in charge of Galaxia, sort of, and Nej is her support AI. So they are investigating what the fuck is going on with the Galaxia situation. That is already their backstory. The spider from Licorice, she is Charlotte. Was Charlotte in Licorice? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had the library scene in Licorice as well, right? Yeah. It is Charlotte. She was in the anime as well. They just cut out the entire Zakaria chapter that set her up, as well as a lot of other things. So people usually forget that Charlotte exists, but yeah, that's her. What character would you like to see introduced in the game that is not currently in game, of course? Rain, Kibao, Mutasina Eoline, Neza, Renli, Berkuli, Sheta. On the top of my mind, those 8 for now. Do you think Pooh is the one mind controlling people like he did to people in War of Underworld? No, you're referring to Lifa with the red eyes, right? No, I absolutely do not think it is Pooh, because Pooh did not mind control anyone, even in the anime. That was just terrible portrayal choice. Like, when you give someone an aura, it does look like they are mind controlling. Again, bad choice of portrayal. Pooh does not mind control anyone. Pooh is just playing into the hatefulness of people. Let's put it that way, without YouTube picking up other certain words. I'm not gonna give YouTube the chance. Is there a pre-download for this game? Yes, there is. Pre-download is opening in a couple hours globally on Steam. On PlayStation, you will need to wait for midnight. And if you have the Premium Deluxe or Digital Deluxe, you will have 3-day early access that is beginning immediately when you download. The only gacha is the weapons, right? I wouldn't call it a gacha. It's just weapon crafting, randomized weapon crafting. And you do that with common currency as well, from what people told me, so I would not call it gacha. Not every single random reward system is a gacha. Random rewards, even loot drops from bosses are random drops. Bosses themselves are not considered gacha. When you say gacha or loot boxes, that often comes with the implication that, hey, this is somewhat of a pseudo gambling system that you pay your way into, mostly with real world currency. No, weapon crafting does not come with that connotation. That's why I'm not going to refer to it as a gacha. No worries, Alp. Glad I could help. Will bosses rotate for boss raids? In the closed beta, we have a 2-hour rotation between Sword Golem and the Skull Reaper. Chances are that may be the case in the final game as well, but especially if we have more than 2 raid bosses, which I imagine we do, I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they just have the system set up in case to funnel people into an activity. And if they see enough activity in the game, I think they could just go for a simple selector. But you know, I understand the thought process, if that was the reason. But I don't know for sure at the moment. Do you think all the Gamers cast will be added before other additional characters? No, not at all. Stray is coming in DLC 1, DLC 2 is for Pitohui and M. Maybe EX on those Kirito weapons stand for Extreme Gear? Could be, but what does Extreme Gear mean in that case? No idea. That's why I didn't say anything further when I noticed the EX versions. If I can't even reasonably assume something, I would just rather not say anything. Sorry, tongue got twisted. Hey, they will bring at some point in the game Koharu, Edith, and Dorothy. I don't know. They could. They may not. I don't know. Oh, didn't realize we already knew a decent amount about the Fractured Daydream characters. I was pulling a theory out of my butt because I don't know anything about Ark. You're on my channel. You can't say such things. Oh, new Jontron video. I should probably watch that. Good to know. Story trailer explain. Ark. You should watch this. This one, right here. And then, I'm pretty sure I have a more concise video as well. Dead Game Report. I should have done it before the Dead Game Report. Rihanna opening, story release trailer. Yeah, this one. You should watch this one. Release date, DLC, story, new characters, and more. Like, we knew about Fuka and Neige since over 2 months ago. You can't say such things on my channel, Ark. You should be knowledgeable. I want Sumeragi because why is he only in 2 games? I like Sumeragi, but Sumeragi also comes with a certain baggage. That is not all that nice. I am not sure what the situation is with Sumeragi, whether he'll ever be brought back or not. I think Deathgun should have a more powerful ultimate than other characters, but what do you think, Gamerturk? I don't think anyone should have an objectively more powerful ultimate than someone else. Simply put. A good balance. Good balance. Take care, Ark. Oh my god, you didn't even hear my answers. I hope they make some mission allow us to team up with NPC Thor or Freya. Huh, that'd be interesting. They already have boss AI for friendly and enemy, so they may just use that same AI. The same way they're using Sword Golem as an enemy in boss raids and the summon ally with Quinella. If they have them as bosses in the game, they can always make them function as allies as well. That would be interesting, yep. Klein Thor, the fated duo. Go on. We know about how many bosses there are yet? No. I have basically tried to cover every single one we have seen in previous trailers. I did my best. I'm pretty sure we did not miss anything. But I do apologize for it taking 3 hours. Definitely took longer than I expected. Is it possible they'll also add Unitolin characters and outfits? Absolutely possible. How much they want to step into the spoiler area, that remains a question. Although, as I said, Japan does not care much for spoilers in general. Or rather, the official sides don't want their creations to be spoiled by fans, but they are more than happy to spoil it themselves without any sort of self-control. Let's put it that way. So they can easily bring in Unitolin characters for fans to enjoy, even though only a small portion of the fan base may recognize them. Some things I say may come off as if they have negative connotations. I don't mean them in a negative way. It's just a different culture to think about. Whether it's good or bad for you, you can decide, of course. But Japan being more liberal on the promotion side in terms of holding back spoilers, they don't do that. And I don't mention that as a negative point. That's just how the Japanese side is. Culturally speaking, they don't mind spoiling people in that way. Whereas in the West, people are a lot more sensitive towards spoilers. They want to experience everything themselves. And that kind of gets into a problematic situation because developers, they want to share stuff they have created so people get more hyped, but they can't do it because it's a very annoying equilibrium to be in for all sides involved. It is a massive calculation, the entire thing. What was I even saying? I want to see Mito, Rain, Dorothy, Itsuki, and Zeliska, and the SAO villain Gabrielle and Pooh. I am so glad that Straya makes a return. Glad to see you're happy, Shiloh. Was anything said about the PvP mode? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing was said. I think for anime SAO characters that should be added for DLC is Pooh, Vecta, Mito, Eugene, Berkuli, Kate Sith Leader, forgot her name, that would be Sakuya. Sylph Leader, sorry, Kate Sith Leader is Alicia Rue, Sylph Leader is Sakuya. As far as I know, no PvP mode at the very least, correct. And they have not said anything about plans. I don't think it came up in any of the developer interviews as well. So probably not even an intention at the moment, unless people show any kind of interest for it. I'd love it if that character list could be fully realized for this game. That would be awesome. Absolutely. I truly do hope the game is so fun. I think it's going to be successful, and I truly do hope it ends up being successful, because if the game is successful, it'll have a lot more longevity, and the infrastructure they have for such a game, it's perfect. They can add characters, they can add stories, they can add maps, they can add different worlds, all kinds of stuff. This could be the ultimate SAO experience for a couple years to come at the very least. I really do hope that happens. Honestly, don't get why they keep adding Oberon to the games. So many better options. Oberon is a great option. Like, people do like their meme options, and the thing is, they are usually incredibly fun as well. Oberon being one, and Kibao being two. Kibao is usually the higher choice for these cases. When you ask fans, oh boy, they will ask for Kibao. So technically, if I have to say, I am surprised Oberon keeps getting the upper placement compared to Kibao. On that front, I am surprised. But in terms of meme characters that fans really love having around as goofy little idiots, I am not surprised at all that Oberon and Kibao keeps getting into those slots. Not like really unbalanced in terms of Death Gun's ultimate, I imagine, but maybe just a bit more damage would do, Gamerturk. Again, if you do just a bit more damage, then nobody will feel a difference. If you want people to feel a difference, it would have to be unbalanced. That's the reality of balancing damage and all that kind of stuff. If you want to make something feel impactful, it has to stand out. If it has to stand out, it can't be just a little bit more damage. Sadly, that is not how it works. Düsselbert, Shet, and Renly would be awesome to have, to be honest. Absolutely. Integral fact, Integrity Knights offers so many unique choices. Characters I hope for. I have already covered that multiple times. How many bosses have we seen? Oh, if you ask me like that, I genuinely don't remember. Going through them one by one without counting is easy, but I did not necessarily keep track of the number. I'm sorry, can't answer that question. A character no one thinks about is Recon, and I'm pretty sure the developers are not thinking about him either. There's really not much to do with Recon. 1 hour to go. I will slowly wrap up and leave you all to enjoy the early access. When am I planning to stream the game? When I have time. That makes sense, but don't you think they'll eventually do a character that will stand out from... All the characters already stand out from each other with their unique gameplay, but they still remain balanced. That is the key point of it. Okay, 1 hour to go for that Steam download. Is it just 1 hour to go? Is it not 2 hours? Either way, I am leaving you all to enjoy the early access for those who actually do have access. I have 2 videos planned until the 4th of October, building up to that official release. One I will probably publish tomorrow. The other I will publish the next day. I hope. I do have a lot of things to do during the day, real life as well. So I'll try to squeeze them in if I can. But that is my plan. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in that next video. And of course, when the game releases, I will start doing the story, and then we will of course have our multiplayer streams as well. Both co-op missions as well as boss raids. Free quests, I will have a look, but it remains to be seen whether there is meaningful content to look around in free quests. Do I have anything else I should say? Absolutely I do. This live stream is brought to you by my channel merch, so please do check it out. We have the first day as a t-shirt, as a hoodie, as a poster, as anything you can ask for. Not anything you can ask for, but as a lot of things. We have Lens Squad, 50k Klein hoodies and shirts and all that kind of stuff. If you're interested, my Teespring link should be in the description. If it isn't, please do let me know, because I just keep copying the same description, and if it's not there, it is quite bad for me. I should have it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.